Hi everyone, it's Cal. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to pop on today and talk just a little bit about the zodiac. The zodiac has been revered for many, many centuries by the ancients, and I can tell you it's not because of personal chart casting. It's because these energies, the zodiacs, live inside our bodies. These are archetypes of the forces that are outside of us and inside of us. And it's their movements that govern the back and forth mechanisms within our body. There's always all the back and forth mechanisms within our body are the cycle of the circle. And there's a upflowing and a downflowing, whether it is in the cells, the organs, the circulatory system, or any system that you have in your body. Everything within you and outside of you is going through the movement of the circle. There is nothing else in this universe moving in any other way. Everything is trying to make the circle, and sometimes it looks like this, and sometimes it actually looks like this, like a sine wave with the upflow and then the downflow. The upflow and the downflow is the negative and positive component of the cycle. And this sort of back and forth movement, this polarized situation of negative and positive, of up, down, in, out, it's all doing the same thing. And that is what's causing movement and creating the whole experience that you're having here on the planet. It's outside of the planet as well. The universe cannot move in any way that it does not know. The circle is a repeat of itself in every facet of life, whether it's fractal or whether it's the God particle, which you cannot see, and it is all moving in the same way. And this is the cycle of the circle. And there is nothing more important to understand than this cycle, because it governs every part of your being, including your thoughts. When we are feeling out of sync, it's because we haven't completed the cycle in a thought. And I know this sounds a little bit crazy to understand, but we can realize it when we kind of, maybe we're shocked by something that happens, and we have this kind of down pull, or it could be an up pull. And then when we come into understanding of it, that's when we go to the other side, which is understanding, and then we end up right at the starting point of the circle, which is equilibrium. Equilibrium is balance, and every part of our being is seeking to balance, seeking to have completion so that it can rise to the next level of being, which is always the circle, but at a new level of circle. And that's what the Kundalini is. Every rung on the ladder of the Kundalini is nothing more than a cycle coming to equilibrium. And that is the marrying of the two forces. That is the positive and the negative. That is the male and the female. That is the active and the passive. So every time you reach a level in the Kundalini and you marry those two forces, then the cycle starts again at the next level, and that becomes the next rung on the ladder, and so on and so forth. And when you reach each rung on the ladder, when you come to balance in the center of your being and you complete each rung on the ladder, you come to a higher state of enlightenment until finally you hit the level of the heart, you burst into flames. If you still maintain your pull, that equilibrium on the two forces, the male and female, then you experience the dove experience, which isn't really a dove, but it feels exactly like it. And that dove experience is the polarized version of what is happening in the body. There's this, how do I say this better? There is the sort of north-south of your being that is within the body that is going through the cycle. And then in your in the skull, when you hit that level, you've got the east-west. And of course, this forms the cross. And once you're done at this level, you go to higher levels, and the cross is met at higher levels. And when you see these old relics where you see in churches where you see it's kind of like two crosses together, you see one cross and then you see another cross, that means that you have transcended. The first cross is the body cross. That is the material world. When you transcend that, you go to the next level, which is the higher state. You're connected to the higher spheres, and you go to that state, and then you're on the path to completing that. So the circle is everything. It is everything that we see. It is everything that we touch, we eat. It is everything, the circle. And everything that you see is going through the circle, whether you're eating it, whether you're growing it, it doesn't matter. Everything is completing the circle. And I know on the surface, everything looks so different. I mean, really, how could this plant be going through the cycle, or this house be going through the cycle, or the window going through the cycle? But all these material things they are going through a sequence to become more. Some are moving at very, very, very slow paces, like this window or this rock or this tile. But nevertheless, everything has a certain amount of awareness, and it is building consciousness. It is building on this awareness to complete the cycle, to go to the next level of awareness. And that is also why you see in these old scriptures, you'll see circles within circles within circles, and one will be labeled Terra, and the next will be labeled the next level of being, which maybe is insects, and then reptiles, and then we move into mammals. So everything is the cycle of the circle, and there is nothing else. And so getting back to the zodiacs are the perfected energies of the cycle. So even whether you're this plant or this window or this rock, you are on the path to perfecting the psychological components of the zodiac, which have been put into archetypes so that we can better understand them. So there are lesser and greater versions of that, because those archetypes govern the cycle of the circle, and there isn't anything else. And that's why these archetypes are so important, because once you get to the level of the human being, you have perfected your image of God. And there is a way to clearly show this. You've perfected your image of God, and now you have to perfect the psychological components that go with it. And those are depicted by the archetypes. And when you get into perfect balance, when your body gets into perfect balance with these archetypes, these push and pull, that's happening at every level. It's happening in your organs and your cells, and it's happening with the movement or the behaviors of your arms and legs. When you get into perfection, all the energy in your body is pushed to the center, and it raises up so that you can have an enlightening experience and get to the next cross, the next level of the cross. So, having said this, this is just sort of a grand view of the cycle of the circle. And now we have to pull back, and we have to look at the cycle of the circle in much, much smaller ways, so that we can bring our bodies and our mind into balance. And that's what the Zodiac Code is all about. It's about bringing your body and mind into balance. So remember that. It's called the Zodiac Code. and I know I have many videos on it, and they are just touching the ocean of understanding these zodiacs. So for now, forget about personal chart readings, anything like that. You can use your personal chart in conjunction with the zodiac code uh, um, for medical astrology. The two go together. But for basic understandings, the zodiac code can actually help you with thoughts, exercises, and mantras to bring bring your body into balance by aligning your mind and body. So you do the exercises for your body, and you do the exercises for your mind, and you use your speech to solidify both. That's what the zodiac code is all about. So remember, the archetypes of the zodiac are much greater than you can imagine. They govern everything outside that we see and everything inside that we know and feel. The zodiac code. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you got something out of I hope you got something out of this. This is sort of like just a broad look at the cycle of the circle and the astrological components of each part of the circle. The circle is actually a wave of development, a wave of a way of being, a wave of energy that is bringing you into alignment, into that place of balance that we refer to as the goddess. She is love. Love is perfect balance. There can be love with greater understanding, there can be love with lesser understanding, but it's always a place of balance. And when you get into that place of balance, that is pure bliss, and that is what we all deserve, what we all need, because when we are in that place of balance, all our desires come flowing to us without this outward push and pull that we are doing on a daily basis to achieve our goals. Things start to flow when we're in that place of balance. So getting your mind and body really healthy to get into that place of balance and maintain it is the whole goal of living. And there really is nothing else. Yes, to live in love is great. To live in love, the self is great. And the self deserves good health. All right, the cycle of the circle and the archetypal components. I'm going to stop talking now. So I hope you got something out of this. And when you experience the Kundalini, you will come into truly knowing the cycle of the circle, if that interests you. Otherwise, you don't need to have your own firsthand experience. You can just move into the place of getting your mind and body in alignment through health practices and just experience the bliss. Because the bliss is really the place that you want to get, you want to maintain. All right, I hope this video helped, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. You take care. Bye-bye.